close your eyes and imagine a silence so profound, no feels like the very breath of our planet, a vast living paradox that defies the human scale. Stretching from the rugged Ural Mountains to the salt-sprayed shores of the Pacific, it is a realm where distance is relative and time is measured in centuries. For many, the name evokes a white void of exile, yet a closer look reveals a magnificent nothingness that teems with hidden and resilient vitality. Siberia serves as the lungs of the Northern Hemisphere, a gargantuan cradle of taiga and tundra that swallows nearly 10% of Earth's entire landmass. Here, the infrastructure of man feels like a fragile whisper against the roaring wind, where nature still dictates the absolute rules of human existence. It is a canvas of infinite horizons, a frontier where the spirit of the earth remains untamed, raw, and hauntingly beautiful in every direction. To truly grasp the scale of Siberia is to confront the impossible, a territory larger than the continental United States and Western Europe combined. It is a tectonic mosaic where the footprints of nomadic ancestors overlap with industrial scars, spanning 11 time zones from sunrise to evening meal. This human tapestry includes over 40 ethnic groups, from southern Turkic tribes to Arctic seafaring folk, each whispering ancient songs into the freezing wind. Shattering the monotone stereotype, Siberia's geography is a kaleidoscope of surprises, from emerald Altai valleys to the golden dunes of the Khara sands. In the brief, explosive summer, the tundra ignites with a carpet of wildflowers, and the taiga transforms into an endless rolling sea of vibrant green. From Arctic permafrost to mist-shrouded shores, these landscapes shift with a violent, breathtaking beauty that remains forever etched in the human mind. As we travel deeper into the southern reaches of this vast expanse, the flat horizon begins to buckle and rise to form the golden mountains of Altai. This is the vocal cords of the earth, where the wind carries the echoes of ancient civilizations, and the landscape feels sentient, as if every crag is watching. For millennia, Altai has been a sanctuary where peaks serve as pillars of the world, bridging the physical realm to the heavens for the Scythian warriors and kings. Between thunderous waterfalls and larch forests, there is a stillness that forces a confrontation with one's insignificance on ground considered holy since the dawn of man. To the northeast lies Ergaki, a jagged kingdom of granite and impossible geometry known as the Yosemite of Siberia, featuring peaks so sharp they look like needles stitching clouds. The sleeping Saiyan warrior guards the valley in eternal slumber, while the dragon's tooth spire defies gravity, swallowed one moment by light and the next by primordial fog. Cutting through this landscape is the Chuya Highway, a cinematic 600-mile artery where ancient Silk Road history meets modern ecology as taiga forests give way to high-altitude deserts. Each bend reveals a new postcard of turquoise rivers, clashing with glacial streams and ancient petroglyphs, standing as silent sentinels to the millions of past travelers. Hidden within larch forests is the eye of the earth, a thermal pool that never freezes and pulsates with concentric circles of blue silt, as if breathing. This tranquility leads to the raw power of Chulishman Valley, a deep green gash in the earth where 160-meter waterfalls create mist and perpetual ethereal rainbows. Lake Teletskoye, the Pearl of Altai, is a deep, fjord-like mirror, while Lake Kucherla sits high above the tree line with startling milky turquoise waters surrounded by white-capped peaks. Dominating the horizon is Mount Beluka, the sacred dwelling of goddess Umai, standing alongside the surreal red and orange hills of Altai Mars, a scorched prehistoric alien wasteland. But even the majesty of Altai eventually yields to the biting winds of the north as we leave the golden peaks behind for the forgotten edge of the world. If Altai is the spiritual heart of Siberia, then Chukotka is its raw, unyielding edge, a land of firsts and lasts, where human civilization holds a precarious grip on the earth. Separated from Alaska by only 55 miles of the treacherous Bering Strait, this massive peninsula of tundra and permafrost remains one of the least explored regions on our entire planet. This is a landscape of severe skeletal majesty with no trees, only low creeping moss and wind-scoured ridges that endure legendary Arctic blizzards known as the purga for much of the year. To live here is to accept absolute isolation, an island in all but name, with no roads connecting it to Russia, accessible only by the dark sea or the freezing air. Here, the silence is so heavy it feels physical, broken only by the cry of a sea eagle or the distant haunting groan of shifting pack ice in the unknown wilderness. Chukotka is a graveyard of Soviet ambition, a strategic fortress once dotted with secretive mines and military outposts that now lie in ruins as silent monuments to a vanished empire. These are the rusted lands, where concrete walls crack under permafrost, and the industrial skeleton is slowly reclaimed by a vast, indifferent wilderness, creating a sense of haunting poeticism at the end of the world. In the heart of this gray expanse sits Anadyr, where Soviet-era apartment blocks are painted in vibrant neon hues to combat the psychological weight of the long polar night. From the air, it looks like a collection of Lego blocks, a defiant splash of color and a stubborn pulse of human warmth, where the Arctic wind never stops blowing. Further north lies Pevek, a fortress of industry and the gateway to the northern sea route, a strategic maritime artery becoming a new frontier of trade as Arctic ice thins. This frontier outpost is home to the academic Lomonosov floating nuclear power station, providing heat to an extremity, where life is dictated by the terrifying 100-mile-per-hour Yuzhak winds. Here, the horizon is filled with icebreakers and frigid waters, marking the literal end of the line where man's technological might meets the crushing ancient power of the North. As we depart the rusted shores of the Arctic, we turn our gaze south, where the ocean air grows thick with salt and fog toward Russia's windows to the Pacific. To travel from the heart of Siberia to its Pacific rim is to witness the transformation of a continent where the dry, biting cold is replaced by heavy, saline humidity. This is the Russian Far East, a region that looks toward Tokyo, Seoul, and San Francisco as much as it does toward the distant continental heart of Moscow. It is a land defined by the rhythm of the tides and the shifting curtains of sea mist that have long hidden the forbidden fringes of a vast empire. Today, these shores stand as vibrant, chaotic windows to the most dynamic region on the planet, where industrial energy meets the restless power of the great Pacific Ocean. This is a world of dramatic contrasts, where you can watch a Japanese freighter disappear into the fog, while a Russian port city hums with heavy industrial energy. The geography itself is restless, a landscape of volcanic islands, deep fjords, and mountains that seem to plunge directly into the dark, cold depths of the Pacific Sea. The air here tastes different, thick with the scent of kelp, diesel, and raw salt, marking a frontier that feels both ancient and cutting edge at the same time. In these Pacific outposts, the Siberian identity undergoes a sea change, becoming more fluid, adventurous, and intertwined with the history of explorers, sailors, and forgotten exiles. We are no longer in the Great White Silence. We are in a theater of wind and water, where Russia's easternmost dreams take flight across the waves. Sakhalin is an island shaped like a fish, a place of haunted beauty and complex layers, visible in the Karafuto architecture that still lingers in its cities. Sakhalin is a land of extremes, from the mist-shrouded Anova lighthouse, a masterpiece of desolate engineering, to the lush, oversized flora that makes the island feel prehistoric. Life revolves around the sea. Markets overflow with king crabs and sea urchins, while offshore oil rigs glow like floating cities in the dark Tatar Strait. It is a rugged island where nature is gargantuan and the ghosts of the past are never far from the shore, acting as a lonely Pacific sentinel. If Sakhalin is the lonely sentinel, Vladivostok is the boisterous heart of the Russian Pacific, often called the San Francisco of the East for its steep hills. Vladivostok is a beautiful contradiction, the terminus of the Trans-Siberian Railway that feels more like a bustling Asian metropolis than a traditional Russian provincial town. Here, the fog is a permanent resident, rolling over massive suspension bridges and blurring the lines between gray Soviet apartment blocks and sleek new skyscrapers. The streets are a chaotic mix of right-hand drive Japanese cars and European-style boulevards, where you can visit a decommissioned Soviet submarine and eat spicy Korean street food. It is a city of sailors and dreamers that never stops moving, ending one road but beginning another for those looking across the vastness of the Pacific Ocean. The Trans-Siberian is not merely a train. It is a 9,289-kilometer artery that pumps life into the frozen heart of the continent, the very spine of Russia. It is a singular line of iron and wood that bridges the gap between the European soul and the Pacific spirit, entering a different dimension of time. Here, the frantic pace of the modern world is replaced by the hypnotic, rhythmic clack-clack of the rails, a heartbeat that carries you across 8 time zones. As the train pulls away from the platform, the landscape begins to unfold like a slow-motion epic, showing the gradual transition of the Earth's skin. You witness everything, from the coastal fogs of the east to the dense emerald oceans of the taiga, and finally to the rolling steppes of the west. It is a journey of internal discovery as much as external travel, where social barriers of the outside world dissolve in the shared space of carriages. Strangers become temporary family, sharing tea from silver potstacanics, bread and life stories as the sun rises and sets outside the constantly moving window. The train becomes a microcosm of Russia itself, resilient, sprawling, and deeply communal, where the vastness of Siberia is no longer a map, but a living reality. This steel thread keeps the disparate pieces of this gargantuan land together, a testament to the human desire to turn a void into a path. It is the ultimate effort to conquer distance and find a home in the middle of nowhere, where a living, breathing reality stretches toward the horizon. Constructed at the turn of the 20th century under the command of the Tsars, the Great Siberian Way was an imperial feat of engineering deemed impossible. Thousands of laborers carved through solid granite, crossed treacherous marshes, and laid tracks over permafrost that swallowed iron like water in a war against geography. The crown jewel was the Circumbaikal Loop, where engineers blasted dozens of tunnels through cliffs of the world's deepest lake to tame the vast East. After 3 days, a unique psychological state settles in, a 7-day wakeful dream, where the concept of Wednesday or Friday loses all meaning. You exist in perpetual motion, suspended between origin and destination, watching the world go by while listening to the rhythmic breathing of the locomotive at night. Just off the northern branch lies a bizarre paradox, the Kara Sands, a miniature Sahara of rolling golden dunes nestled against jagged snow-capped mountains. This geological mystery of a prehistoric glacial lake creates a surreal landscape where golden dunes are dusted with winter snow, frozen in a visual shock. It is a reminder that Siberia is a land of impossible contradictions, where the earth begins to tremble with a more primal energy toward the volcanic east. As the train rattles through the quiet taiga, the earth beneath us begins to tremble with a more primal energy toward the Far East's volcanic crown, Kamchatka. Kamchatka is a place where the Earth's crust feels thin and almost translucent, a peninsula of fire, ice, and primal fury where the landscape is an exploding entity. This is the edge of the world, a 1,200-kilometer-long blade of land thrust into the Pacific, where 300 volcanoes stand as silent and smoking sentinels. To step onto this soil is to step back into the Cenozoic era, a time before man, when the forces of geology were the only masters. The air in Kamchatka is heavy, with the scent of sulfur and sea salt, a land of verticality where snow-capped stratovolcanoes rise with terrifying geometric perfection. This is not the Siberia of flat tundras. This is a rugged, mountainous fortress protected for decades by its own inaccessibility as a closed military zone. Today it remains a sanctuary for the wild, a place where the human footprint is still a rare sight, and roads simply do not exist in most places. The only way to navigate this labyrinth of fire is by Mi-8 helicopters, old Soviet-era beasts that rattle over emerald valleys and massive smoking craters. Whether flying over the ash fields of Tolbachik or trekking through the boiling mud pots of Uzan caldera, you witness the raw and unedited power of creation. Kamchatka is a land of paradoxes. You can stand on a glacier being melted from below by subterranean heat, while snow falls on your head. This is the land of fire, where the internal heat meets the frigid waters of the North Pacific in a spectacular and eternal clash of elements. In Kamchatka, the planet is still being born, and every eruption or surging river is a reminder that we are merely guests on a moving world. Kamchatka is the crown jewel of the Pacific Ring of Fire, boasting the highest density of active volcanoes, including the iconic and massive Klyuchevskaya Sopka. Its summit is almost always veiled in a plume of volcanic smoke, representing a graveyard of giants and a nursery of new rising mountains. Hidden within the Kronosky Reserve lies the Valley of Geysers, a surreal multicolored canyon where Earth's inner heat manifests as high-pressure jets of steam. Over 200 thermal springs and 90 geysers transform the valley into a steaming prehistoric cauldron, hidden deep within a massive and impenetrable fortress of mountains. Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky sits on Avacha Bay, a rugged port town where the silhouette of the Koryaksky volcano looms over Soviet blocks, like a silent stone guardian. The lifeblood of Kamchatka is the salmon, as millions return from the Pacific every summer to fuel the ecosystem in a primal and beautiful cycle. At Kuril Lake, gargantuan brown bears gather by the hundreds to feast on spawning salmon, representing the untamed spirit and the ancient dance of nature. While the fire of Kamchatka warms the spirit, the true test of Siberian resilience lies to the west, in the heart of the permafrost of Yakutsk. To enter Yakutsk in winter is to enter a world where the laws of physics are rewritten, the capital of Sakha built entirely on ancient permafrost. Here, the word cold becomes a physical weight, a crystalline force that bites through layers of fur and wool to find the very bone at -50. The city is perpetually shrouded in ice fog, a thick haze created by the frozen breath of humans and vehicles, trapped in the valley by frigid air. In this twilight world, metals become brittle like glass, and the simple act of breathing becomes an audible, crackling experience beneath an exterior of incredible defiance. Yakutsk is no struggling outpost, but a thriving metropolis of over 300,000 people, serving as a hub for culture, science, and region's diamond mining. Deep in the kingdom of permafrost ice tunnel, temperatures remain -10 even in summer, preserving frozen carcasses of mammoths pulled from the ancient icy earth. Living here means treating the cold as a silent, stern neighbor, where human resilience is forged in a furnace of ice at the absolute zero of experience. The climate is defined by staggering continentality, swinging from the deepest winter freeze to brief, explosive summer temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius in a single year. Schools only close at -52 as children walk through fog so thick they cannot see their feet beneath a pale, heatless sun skimming the horizon. Architecture here is a battle against the earth, where buildings are perched on concrete stilts, driven deep into the permafrost to prevent them from sinking. This creates a surreal urban landscape where utilities run above ground like a tangled web of silver arteries, since the frozen ground is too hard to dig. At the central market, the cold is the ultimate preservative, where rows of frozen fish and horse meat are sold outdoors, standing upright like frozen planks. A 2-day drive away lies Oymyakon, a village holding the title for the coldest inhabited place, where temperatures once plummeted to a record -71.2. Oymyakon sits in a bowl-shaped valley that traps the heaviest, coldest air, stripping life to its barest essentials, where cars must run 24/7. It is a place where ink freezes in pens, and the silence of the frost is absolute, marking the limit where the human heart still beats. After traveling thousands of kilometers across the largest expanse of land on Earth, we are left with a single haunting question. What is Siberia? It is the volcanic fire of Kamchatka, the grit of the gold miner in Chukotka, and the nomadic heartbeat of the Nenets on the vast Yamal tundra. It is a vast living paradox where the most extreme conditions on our planet give birth to the most resilient forms of life and spirit. Siberia refuses to be boxed or defined by a single image. It is a kaleidoscope of human experience, from the ancient Buddhist chants of Buryatia, from those chants to the high-tech maritime pulse of Vladivostok. It is a land that is simultaneously prehistoric and futuristic, a void overflowing with hidden vitality. To know Siberia is to accept that you will never truly finish exploring it. It is a mirror reflecting the rawest parts of the human soul. This mirror shows our capacity to endure, to dream, and to find beauty in the impossible. Siberia is not a destination. It is the ultimate, unfinished epic. As the screen fades to black, the echoes of the taiga remain, a reminder that the great white silence is anything but empty, and its legend is eternal.